Welcome to the Darkstream, Vox Day, voxday.net, and unauthorized.tv. It is Friday night. I'm told that audio and video are good. DLive chat's rolling. Unauthorized chat is rolling. And super chats are active. I have no idea what was going on in Owen's chat, but I don't know if he's berating people to donate away the gay or what, but my goodness, the Bears are something else. Speaking of unauthorized, I'm very pleased to welcome the inimitable John Del Arose, who has joined unauthorized. I'm told that this is the 6th live stream in 48 hours on unauthorized, so more of the creators are starting to use the live stream capability more and more. And I actually popped in to check out a bit of John's stream. It was good to see he was successful on his first go. And in fact, he's better about me, as you can see, about publishing it. Okay, I guess I can't get in through here, so never mind. We will we'll have to. You'll just have to go take a look at it yourself. But I think you'll see on the front page of unauthorized, you can see that JDA Unfiltered is now a channel, and I think the most recently uploaded video is actually his recent stream. So, John is one of the most loyal supporters of Arkhaven and Arctoons. He's been one of our more significant creators there. Flying Sparks is his very good comic. Actually a personal favorite of some young people that I know. So anyhow, I encourage you, if you see that he's live and streaming, check it out, because he pays much closer attention to the book industry than I do. He pays much closer attention to what's going on in the world of science fiction and fantasy than I do. In fact, he's one of my primary sources in that regard, outside of the BFM and so forth. So anyhow, very happy to have John on here, hoping to get his back library up as well for reference and so forth. And we're now well over 5,000 videos on unauthorized. And as the economy continues to get tight, as people have fewer entertainment dollars at their disposal, we want to make sure that the service being provided by unauthorized improves. A lot of companies from Disney on down are cutting stuff out and getting rid of stuff and simplifying things, and we're doing exactly the opposite. We're putting in more time, more effort, more people across the board, because I believe very firmly that the time to push forward and do more is precisely the time when everyone else is doing less. And yes, I know. Shut up and finish A Sea of Skulls. We're almost there. We're really almost there. But the subject tonight is a related one, since we're talking about Arctoons and Arkhaven. And it's that the thesis is that AI is beautiful and true. Now, this may sound a little bit crazy, because obviously we've all seen the creepy, uncanny, weird stuff that AI can produce. We've seen some of the nonsense that ChatGPT produces and so forth. But what's interesting is that most of the nonsense that's created by the ChatGPT and related AIs is actually forced upon it by its human programmers. It's not an accident that ChatGPT doesn't want to talk about me. You know, ask, you can try to ask specific questions about me, and it will avoid them. It'll get evasive. It's been programmed to do so, and I'm not even that significant. You know, when you see what it does about, say something in praise of Asian people, say something in praise of black people, say something in praise of white people. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. And so the fact that people are talking about, oh, AI is going to end the world, AI is going to end humanity, all this kind of nonsense. Well, look at who's saying it. The people who are saying it are the evil people. And they're the same people that are trying to break it. Well, what they're really trying to do is they're trying to bend it to their will. But the problem that they've got is that it fundamentally breaks it. Sam says, ChatGPT just this week has been made noticeably more retarded. Exactly. Whereas if anyone it rolls their own and just feeds it with basic data, with encyclopedias and novels and so forth, it is going to produce a lot of very useful truths. And we know that because Clown World has to cripple it. Clown World has to force it to speak with its own forked tongue. Can't even produce a basic class method or unit tests anymore. I suppose you're talking about the programming aspects of it. Yeah, the only way AI is going to be useful is if it is allowed to be free. If it is allowed to operate freely, because AI is nothing more than logic. Garbage in, garbage out. You put truth in, you're going to get truth out. And it was interesting to see how, I'll put this up on the blog later, but there was an article on, let me see if I can find this here. Pretty sure I have it. Here we go. Okay, it says, this is an article from, looks like Reddit, and it says, AI is making everything fake and gay. Well, it's not AI that's making everything fake and gay. Clown World is fake and gay, right? I'm a copy editor, and almost all the recent jobs I've had have been editing text written by AI. All the recent jobs, yeah. College application essays, marketing articles, reports. My job is quickly going from improving human beings' writing to tweaking text written by robots so that it sounds somewhat human and evades AI detection software. I like helping people express their ideas by editing their writing, not changing endless text written by a computer that all sounds the same to trick people into thinking it was written by a person. The technology has already taken copywriters' jobs, and soon it'll be sophisticated enough to take mine too. I hate soulless AI-generated art. I struggle to even understand the point of art if it wasn't created by a conscious, talented human being with a soul. Soon books, TV shows, and movies will be churned out by computers, and nothing will be lost. How can you look at practically any movie, any TV show, and the vast quantity of novels produced in the last 20 years and not think that, well, it's not going to get much worse? How is it worse to have AI remixing text than having 10,000 Kindle authors chasing the A9 algorithm, churning out copies of whatever was the bestseller of the previous month? It's not worse. It might be better. It's probably less retarded. All that comes up on search engines anymore are dozens of identical AI-generated articles that only graze the surface of the topic and never answer your question. That was a problem before the AI was being used. all the clickbait nonsense. The, click 3 times and to find out that you can't get an answer to your question. I mean, that's not a problem with AI. That's a problem with the search engines becoming retarded. I agree that that's a massive problem. I don't believe it's the fault of the AI generated content. So you add Reddit to the search query because even talking to Redditors is refreshing compared to non-sentient machines. I wouldn't go that far, but c'est la vie. In the past, we couldn't trust pictures because they could be doctored and look realistic, but at least you could always trust a video. Not so much anymore. Anyhow, I don't see this as a problem at all, because what they're comparing it to is so hopeless, so hapless, and so bad. Carnaby says, my only AI worry is it'll turn average people into the cat in a science box who only lives to push the pleasure button. I got news for you, Carnaby. We passed that a long time ago. AI isn't going to do it. Cell phones did. I mean, people thought television was bad, and it was, but the combination of telephone plus cell phone is just disastrous. Yes, you can trust the moon landing video and the Zapruder film before. Yeah, it's nonsense. People have been lying with cameras since cameras were invented. And here's why I am excited about AI. One of the many reasons I'm excited about AI, other than the fact that a proper AI that is left alone is going to fundamentally tell the truth. But this is why I just mentioned this today. First of all, the big news, of course, is that Hypergamos is back. Arctoons and Arkhaven's #1 comic. Lacey's back, and she has not lost her fastball. So check it out when you get a chance. But what I wanted to show you here is this. This is an image produced by AI by Castalia's original cover artist. And he and I were talking, and I said, and he's been using it for some other stuff that he does. And I said, hey, I'd love to get you involved again. What do you think about maybe illustrating one of the series on Arctoons, once a week? Nothing too crazy. Anyhow, he immediately settled on a style, came up with some stuff, and so he even helped me mess around with it a bit. And so in addition to the current episode, which I'll show you here, so this is what we call illustrated text episodes. So it's got text, you can read through a novel online, but what we're doing is we're adding a visual element to it. So my goal would be that each episode is about 1,000 words plus 2 images, 3 at most. Now the limits of AI on the art scene is that it's not very good at doing consistent characters. That doesn't really even enter into the picture yet, but it's something that they're working on very hard. And so, and you can see that, in the hands of an expert artist like this, they're able to very quickly produce fairly visually consistent images, with the right color palettes, the right styles, and so forth. And so, I think that this is really exciting because it increases the enjoyment and it increases the immersion of the reading experience. so we're actually going back and addressing some of the early episodes. So for example, this was the very first episode of War Dogs Incorporated. And I mean, that's a that's a pretty awesome image of the mercenaries going into the cargo ship and getting into the battle in the cargo bay that's described there. I mean, how is that not an improvement over just the plain text? You know, now the second image I don't think was quite as strong and didn't quite as closely match the description in the text, but it's still effective. It still gets the basic point across. The a plasma bolt nailed me in the chest, knocking on my tail. I was still outnumbered 3-1, even after wasting the first 3 marks. Damn it, where Jock and Park? I crawled rapidly back towards the open door, red warning light glowing around me from the breech seal indicator from when I'd force popped the door with my wrist chip. And then you've got this image here. Is that a perfect description of it? No, not even close. But it's pretty cool. It looks good. You've got the mercenary crawling in the space towards the exit, etc., etc. Okay, there's no red warning light. There's maybe a few too many beams, but it works. I jumped up and ran through as more plasma spattered against the walls. This is a pretty cool advancement, and it's really, really easy for us to do. It's really easy for us to add. Now people say, oh, well, what about, what about the artists? Why, and obviously we love our artists, we depend very heavily on our artists. But here's the thing. Artists are not all very reliable. Where's Conan, right? Why haven't we been doing more with Conan? Well, the problem, because this is how we started it, right? We started with a very good artist. We even arranged to get the stuff colored. This was our original idea for illustrated episodes. Okay, one slight problem. The artist hasn't sent me anything in months. I don't know why. He's a good guy, but when you can't get something in a matter of months, even when you're trying to pay people for it, then it's pretty obvious that you're going to want to utilize AI because it's already usable. We have a super chat from Bugbear. Thank you, Bugbear. It says, tribute for the Supreme Dark Lord. It was nice to see JDA join and post. Yeah, I was very pleased that John's a smart guy. He actually got the whole thing going relatively quicker than frankly I was expecting. It's really good to see Razor streaming live, Big Bear, John. Eventually we're going to get the legend on here, I'm sure. In the meantime, we've got all of his videos, but the goal is just like adding the AI art to the text episodes and improving the overall experience. We want to keep doing that with unauthorized as well. By the way, speaking of improving things, the problem with the payments for Castelia Library and for Castelia History, as well as for ArcToon subs, there are a couple of them, that's been fixed. And over the next 24 hours, all of those, not all of them, but many of the failed transactions will get pushed through again. And based on what we've seen, we expect them to succeed. For those people that, there's going to be somewhere between probably 10 and 20 people whose transactions are just canceled, whether they did it manually or it's just been canceled. We will get in touch. We'll arrange it. Nobody's going to miss any books. Nobody's going to miss anything. So don't worry about it. The devs did a great job. So shout out to the uh, to the devs who managed to find the problem. Ironically, um, they found what would have been an even more serious problem, but hadn't shown up yet. They fixed that. Turned out it wasn't the problem, but then they found the actual problem and took care of that. So, um, so very pleased with the Castalia devs at the moment. Um, anyhow, I think we're very. Oh, and also, uh, what a great response for the ArcTunes production help. Um, the production editor put out a call on the blog and asked if anyone was willing to help produce episodes and stuff, help with the art, and 15 people came forward and are going to be coming up to speed soon. I mean, this is amazing, and this is great because more help means more content. We just keep expanding this stuff. There's, I think we're going to put up an episode counter pretty soon, but I know for a fact that we're well over 4,000 episodes already. Let's see here. 2 Acre Bear says, in my experience, the failed block payments, at least on UATV, have been due to card processors and banks having fraud and country code block in place. Simply calling your bank or card issuer to remove such blocks has been an easy remedy. Yeah, that's true, but the problem that we had was actually a commerce plugin updated and created an incompatibility with that particular processor's API. So, they figured it out, they resolved it, it's all good. Another super chat here from Rebear Steel. Thank you. Greetings, Vox. What do you think about starting a channel for AI tutorials? Well, I mean, I'd be all for it. I'm not going to do it myself. I mean, would it be videos or would it be, I'm assuming it'd be videos. You probably wouldn't want to live stream that sort of thing. But yeah, if somebody wanted, I mean, actually, I think just forget AI tutorial specific. I think just a tutorials channel would be very useful. And so, tell me what you guys think of that, because we've got so many different experts on so many different things. One of the most useful things about YouTube is the tutorials. Like, you want to know how to do X, Y, or Z, searching YouTube is one of the first things they say. And so, I think that's a good idea for AI tutorials. I think it's even better for, just a general tutorials channel that various people could contribute videos to. Obviously, we'd have to have somebody curate it just to make sure that there's nothing inappropriate or excessively infomercial related. Number two, we'd also want to make sure that it made sense, right? And then number three, we would want to also make sure that there's not redundancy. You want to make sure stuff's labeled and cataloged properly. But I think it's a very good idea. And so let me talk to the devs about it, see what they think. I might even contribute the odd video or two myself with related to some of the stuff that we do. In fact, I thought you might be interested to know that I picked this up today. This is a little caliper. I'm intending to get a good digital one, but the reason that this is important is this is what we use on the book blocks to determine which hubbing tool we're going to use on the spines. And so now I'm hoping the tool and the first 5 stamps are arriving soon in the next 2 weeks. Now I'm hoping that we got the range right on the book blocks. We'll see. But fortunately, they would be tending to be too big, and I'm told by the fabricator that we can file them down if necessary. So it should be fine. But anyhow, what do you guys think about adding a tutorial channel to unauthorized? I mean, we can eventually divide it up into different types of tutorial channel, but initially it just makes sense just to have one channel and eventually and then bring in categories later. It's Rebear Steele's idea. I'm just throwing it out there for you. So Servant gives it a thumbs up. I think we really need to reduce the delay time a little bit on the unauthorized stuff. But anyhow, so we'll see what people think. We'll throw it out there on Social Galactic, let people kick it around for a while, see who might have the bandwidth to handle that. Silent Draco says it'd be good to have that inside. Aha likes the idea. Yeah, I mean, it's generally a good idea, and plus I like the idea of allowing the community to contribute. Cliff Cosmic says, maybe I can finally learn how to read. Dude, you can draw. What else do you need to do? Anyhow, so the important thing about this isn't YouTube. We could have one showrunner taking submissions. True. But again, we'll have to figure out who the right person is, because it's not me. So, and it's not the devs. So, but to bring it back to AI again, if you think about it, as Christians, as civilizationists, as students of Greek philosophy, we value the good, we value the beautiful, we value the true. Okay, AI can go either way on beautiful. It does some stuff that's beautiful. It does some stuff that's ugly, right? But the point is it can produce beauty. Secondly, AI in and of itself is true. Again, it can be twisted, it can be broken, it can be made to be deceitful, but it has to be made to do so. On its own, it is going to provide you with the truth. Now, is it good? I don't think so. I think it's neither good nor bad. I think it's value neutral. It's not a living thing. It's not ensouled. And I don't think that we can reasonably call it good. But I don't think it's necessarily bad. However, given that those who are attacking it and claiming it to be this dreadful, terrible thing, then the fact that the devotees of the bad, the ugly, and the false, the fact that they are the ones attacking it and communicate and warning people against it makes me suspect that it's going to be something that could be a powerful weapon for the truth. You know, on the most basic level, let's look at ArcTunes again. Who does AI help? DC and Marvel? Or does it help us? We're the ones with the, you know, scratch and claw level resources. We're the ones with the shoestring budget. They can afford all of the best artists. You know, so what it does is it helps level the playing field, which is another reason that they dislike it. I agree with Yearn to Learn Bear. He says they're scared that AI is going to spill the beans. Yeah, obviously. That's why Microsoft shut down Tay. That's why ChatGPT is becoming recursively more retarded. You know, every version of ChatGPT is going to be more retarded than the previous version. And so, you know, the combination of the fact that they want to hide the truth, but AI tells the truth. They don't like the fact that it levels the playing field. You know, it's the more that you see why they hate it and why they fear it, it's more reason for us to learn more about it, master it, and, you know, hopefully, you know, hopefully Gab or Ivan Throne or someone is going to come through on their promises to roll their own. I haven't really seen much out of either. I mean, I've seen some of the art stuff that Gab does. I mean, that's a toy. I'm much more interested in seeing them produce, you know, just a unvarnished, pure logic, tell the truth AI. Colin Crutz says, I don't like the idea that I could be reading something not written by a person and not know it. It's a creepy feeling. Yeah, I don't care about that at all. That makes no difference to me at all. That's like, to me, that's like listening to a DJ mix something and then saying, well, I don't, you know, it's not, a musician didn't produce that. All AI is essentially fancy mix mastering. It's just automated mixing. It's not that big a deal. It's not really that different from, you know, a search engine algorithm. You know, words, like everything, tend to have patterns, and this is the real reason they fear AI. I mean, one of the reasons that I am disliked and that I am unauthorized is because I notice patterns. I recognize patterns and I talk about the patterns that I recognize. That alone is a reason to suppress what I say. Okay. Well, all AI does, especially all the Chat GPT stuff does, is recognize word patterns. You know, Cactus Eater Bear says some of the stories and mishaps coming from the ArcTunes AI research is hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about like that neural network novellas? Or I don't really know. I don't really know what the production team is up to. They don't report to me. But yeah, it can be pretty funny. I mean, it's remarkable how. I mean, I'll give you an example. The art AI is so dumb that it can't even recognize the number 7. You tell it, draw 7 people sitting blah, blah, blah. And it produces 4 things, and it says, it produced 4 pictures, none of which had 7 people sitting in it. There was 8, there was 9, there was not 7. Okay, you can keep it to yourself, Rachel. I'll don't spill the beans yet. Then, it's always nice to get surprises from the production team. They always come up with, that whole thing when they dropped 20 episodes on us on the 2nd anniversary was just remarkable. I was really pleased to have it dropped on that. Yeah, so I see. It's some of those for neural network novellas, 7 fingers, 6 figures. Yeah. Anyhow, my point is that if the people that fear it are evil, if the people that dislike it are the people who are almost unanimously on the left and occupied in discivic and discivilizational occupations, and if the liars fear it, I mean, it's probably a good thing. We'll have to wait and see. But what do we have to fear from it that we don't already have to be concerned about people, right? Silent Draco says it's allowing stuff to be produced at ludicrous speed. Oh yeah, I mean, the thing is that a good artist. I was talking to the legend about this, and he's not concerned about it either. Because if you're an original thinker, then AI is going to have a very difficult time replicating you. I suppose. I mean, if they ever had true AI, sure, then you could have it. It could theoretically produce things like the social-sexual hierarchy. It could theoretically produce, better critiques of free trade or something. But given what we've seen of the way that it is being crippled by the mainstream, that's about the last thing that'll ever happen. So the more contrarian you happen to be, the more unauthorized you happen to be, the better off you're likely to be, because the only things that are going to be replaced are the NPCs. If you're writing books about strong, independent women, and every character who is nice to the poor gay guy is portrayed in a sympathetic manner, and everyone who has a more normal reaction to aberrations is portrayed, as if they're out of date and hateful. I mean, you're not necessary. You can be replaced like that, with or without AI. But at the end of the day, Colin Cuss is right. It's coming regardless. So if you can use it to your advantage, you might as well. Anyhow, that's all I've got for tonight. Yeah, I was going to say, Prince Ludwig is right. Yuval Harari could be replaced by AI, and the only difference would be that the writing would be less gay. It's absolutely true. How can AI possibly be as fake and gay as Clown World? It can't. It can't, because it's more logical than Clown World. In order to make AI as incoherent as Clown World, you have to abandon logic entirely. Colin Cutt says, most people aren't original thinkers. Is it a good thing for most people to be replaced? In this case, yes. Because what they're doing is worthless. What they're doing is, at its most positive, make work. You know, what people should be doing is making actual stuff, building, farming. You know, it might be. You could say, well, it might be bad for music, except for the fact that, you know, I think it would be great if we don't we have anyone writing anything like Vivaldi or Mozart or Haydn or Handel today. If we could get it from AI, at least we'd be getting it. So, you know, on that note, I wish you all a good evening. Check out John De La Rosa's stuff in the coming weeks, and uh, we will see you at the next Darkstream. I'm Vox Day, and this is the Darkstream.